let's pretend that we have all of our clips done, and now you are going to add essential graphics to each of your clips to tell me that you can identify all of the effects that you did. So sometimes when I'm watching the video, I'm kind of like, what was the effect that they added? I can't really tell. So you're just going to label each of your shots and say what you actually applied, and keep them in order so that when I check off, I'm like, okay, this is mirror, this is lightning, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so how do I label? With the essential graphics. So we saw that we could use the T tool earlier and make a text box, and then we can change the opacity. But for this one, I actually want you to use the essential graphics panel. So as you can see, we could work in several different modes. Like maybe I'm editing, maybe I'm doing special effects. But here we're going to actually go to the graphics layout, and that's automatically going to bring up my essential graphics panel. And so look at here, we can browse pre-made graphics. A lot of them have animation in them. And then I can go over here and edit those. So I'm going to scroll down and look for one that says lower thirds. We could also type that in here and see what we have here. So these are all the ones that have lower thirds in them. So that means that they're going to be at the very bottom. So I'm gonna click and drag this one onto my timeline, and I want to put that above this. We did the speed duration here, and then I just wanted to point out that you guys can use the negative or positive to kind of like zoom in and see all these clips on your timeline. So that's kind of like letting you do this, where you can see. So it's not changing the overall time; it's just letting you actually see the clips a little bit clearer. So here I'm just going to click and drag it so it's aligned to speed duration. And then here I'm going to select the actual title that's inserted there, and I'm going to use the type tool, and I'm going to change it to duration. Or we can do slow-mo, speed. It does not matter to me, just as long as I can say, okay, they changed this. All right, so after we add this too, we can come down here and we can change the font. You can change the color and everything. So use the same essential graphics for each of your videos on top of it and labeling it. It's just going to create consistency. And I do highly recommend using white with a shadow, and that really helps separate it from the background when you're actually adding these. So again, for the next one, I'm just going to click and drag it and add it to the next clip. And you can make it as long as it's necessary. And then again, I'm just selecting it with the type tool and then saying this is maybe opacity or something like that. You know, whichever one it is. And then notice that the lines are actually becoming as long as that. Oh, well, I did it. Make sure that you pick the next one, and I just changed the same one. Oh, geez. But notice that the line is as long as here. So now I'm going to go back and change this one. There it is, duration. Okay, so